So Akame got Kill's latest chapter coming down with it, like with chapter 71 coming around, and you know how I guys like were feeling about after everything that we just went through. It's like, no, we got the giant robot back, like that, and like some very like stuff that's kind of really following like kind of what the anime does. However, though, I do have to say there were some parts of this like I really did appreciate. That was like it extended a lot on like both like on the agenda side, which we didn't get to see too much in the anime, and then also as well giving us some stuff which I thought was pretty decent like in the anime, like some of the stuff and all that. Like we'll be able to see like the Leone, she's now about like hopefully that's extended with the whole like fight with that Prime Minister piece of shit, or like Tatsumi not just immediately going like Golden Super Saiyan against the fucking giant man. There was a really nice panel, especially I felt like that kind of meant them like a lot to me for like some reason, when it was like Tatsumi running towards the giant like Supreme Gundam Teigu. I don't give a fuck what his real name is, we're calling it a Gundam. When he started talking about like everything that he's gone through from the start of the series, like losing Sayo and Ieyasu, learning the darkness within the Empire, and meeting, you know, everyone and all that, like meet like Mine, Bula, like Akame, like Labak, like Leone, like Chelsea, like Susanoo, like everybody like there. And I was like, that kind of like meant a lot of him, just like having that one panel showing him from the start of the series to showing where he is coming like now. And it's just like, I've lost comrades, and I stained my hands with blood. It's like, you know, I lost Shelley, I lost Bula, I lost Chelsea, I lost Susanoo. I've lost a lot of people in my life, but I'm one step away, and that's not for any human to make their like maker after seeing that attack. Like, and just even with that, and it's like, at least with the prince piece of shit like that, at least he's like, oh, I'm trying not to hit the fucking people. It's like throughout the entire manga, this guy has just been a fucking slave, and like rewatching Three Kingdoms is like, wow, this just came from like Three Kingdoms, just straight up, like the fucking Prime Minister, honest, it's just literally Dong Zhuo, and then you go into like, yeah, that little kid and all that, that is like the Emperor from like Three Kingdoms, where that like big piece of shit. So it's like, that heavily inspired there. Obviously it's got fucking giant robots and dragons involved, but yeah, maybe you might be taking a little bit from the Romance of Three Kingdoms a little bit to the extreme. And Tatsumi going in and fucking, like, hitting this thing, not really doing any damage to it, but it's like, he did get a full-up punch, and it's just like, yeah, we're Night Rage, you might have heard of us. Boom, right to the fucking head, knocking it down a bit, and I was like, alright, let's see, you know, we kind of know where this is going to be going. Like, obviously Tatsumi is going to go even further into the Teigu and all that to beat the Supreme Teigu, like, Gundam, and it's like, yeah, that's where it's going. And, like, even with that, we got to see, like, a tiny bit of the other Teigu users, like, with an agenda, and it's like, though they were actually protecting and doing stuff, and it was like, yeah, we can't fail now, we have to push forward and all that. It's like your courage today, Tatsumi, was something that was like, quell our own despair, and like going into this, and it's just like, even with that, seeing like the Prime Minister just trying to hold it in, and just like the whole thing with Akame and like Leone, it's like I kind of didn't like that bit where it's like, we're gonna split up, because like, oh, I know what's gonna fucking happen now. It's like, oh, Akame's gonna deal with like, it's like the bullshit fucking like side man, and then we're gonna have the Leone scene from like the anime, which we do, which is like, he does like throw a giant, like, I can't remember like how exactly it was in that, because I'm pretty sure in the anime the Prime Minister didn't have a Teigu. I remember he like had like some kind of special kind of gun or something like that. Like, it was something on that line where he was like, oh, I have an eating Teigu, and it's like, oh, that's like, that kind of makes sense. And then hearing him at the end, it's just like, oh, that was a terrible taste, I'm gonna wash it out with young girls, because that, like, I've known from experience that that's like to my palate. And I'm like, oh dear Christ, you're a fucking horrible person, honest, I hope you fucking die. Please go and drown in a fucking well full of pedophiles, like, and I don't care, I want these pedophiles to think you as a little boy and rape you, because you're one of the most horrible out there in manga, where you eat and fuck little girls, and like, you've had subordinates of like fucking clown pedos, and like, there's some horrible shit in like Akame. It's a kind of a shame to kind of like end off like everything I've kind of read throughout this week with kind of both this and the Boruto chapter stuff, that kind of is a good comparison, where it's like the manga is doing a lot of stuff that the anime does, and then Boruto is just doing everything that the fucking like the movie's doing, which is a shame. But it's like, even still, I am liking the differences in like Akame a lot more than I am with the Boruto chapters that have been coming out. excluding like the first 4 pages of like of the new shit that we had in the Boruto chapter, but it's like the rest of it and like the second chapter is just like same shit. But it's like coming from this, it's like I do like the Tatsumi moment kind of, I don't know, I think it's still that real like old fan of me kind of like of Akame, just kind of like that was really nice just to mention like Sayo and Ieyasu and like Shele, Mine, like Susanoo, Bula, Kami, Labak, like everybody, like just mentioning that and like having that moment. And I really do hope in the manga that they do give it justice. But wow, considering that we're at this point now, and this is like what, like 40 pages I think, like coming from there, it's like, yeah, like Akame could have like 4 chapters, maybe like 4. I'd like to say 3 because sometimes they could rush this shit, but it's like it could have 3, it could have 4 chapters. Like that's probably like what they're going for. Like maybe they're gonna end it on like 75. That's like, who knows? Because you know, maybe they want to do like a chapter or 2 for like the S-Def material. But it's like we'll honestly have to wait and see. And I think I do enjoy this chapter. I do have my issues with it because obviously like it's coming from like the anime as well, with the anime original, and it's kind of a little bit shame that they're kind of pretty much following for the same route and all that. It's not that I entirely hate the ending of Kami. I absolutely love like the final episode of it, like with a few like nitpicks here and there, but it's like, I don't know, just kind of being real to you guys here, especially since I'm like one of the only few Akame reviewers out left there, and probably one of the only real, I wouldn't say I'm a fan now, I feel like I'm kind of doing it out of my old fandom series, and I'm still going to collect the manga. I have like 6 of the volumes already, and it's like, I'm definitely going to collect the rest of the volumes. I think the series deserves it, and you know, regardless of what, like even if I had like this kind of like even if I didn't see the anime, I think I'd still be enjoying this stuff. But it's like, I honestly would say if anyone's not seen the anime, I would not like at this point I would not recommend seeing the anime like at this point until the manga's over. That's kind of my advice on it, and it's like that's kind of the shame to come into it. Like the anime kind of sport a lot of things about like what's going to be happening, and I'm like, that's a little bit shame. There's a few twists and turns along the way, but yeah, I've talked a little bit enough about this chapter, and I'm going to leave it there for you today, ladies and gentlemen. So let me know what you guys think about the Akame got killed chapter. Did you enjoy it? I think overall it is a good chapter. I do enjoy it. I think it's just the stuff that is like, it's following the same stuff from the fucking manga, but with its own twist. I really like the Tatsumi scene of like reminiscing on everyone, and I kind of like, you know, him just going in his normal like armor form, just fucking that thing up, like the new gender and the other Teigu users, and then I get like that little bit of the setup with the Leone versus the Prime Minister, stuff like that. But it's like Akame's like, wow, she's just gonna fucking fight the second in hand like irrelevant fuck, and then you know she'll probably gonna go fight S-Def like at the back or something like that. So it's like Akame kind of gets the shit end at the moment until that S-Def stuff probably happens. But it's like, even still, it's like I still think the chapter is like a 7.5 to like an 8. I'd like to say 7.5 a little bit more because it's copying a lot of stuff from there. But yeah, it's just like, it made me realize like a couple of chapters ago, and then also as well that last month with like how everyone was talking about the chapter. It's like, yeah, wow, we like that Akame fandom really died down, and it's like kind of a shame because I would like it's like why I'm still reviewing it, because I want the series to have like one last hoorah like to the end of it. So yeah, I'm gonna eat it. I know it's a little bit somber, kind of sad note on there, not like super pumped on that, but yeah, that's all from me, everyone. So thank you much for watching as always, and I'll see you beautiful bastards next time.